Why sitting all day hurts and the fixes that actually work. You've been at your desk for hours. Maybe you even worked out this morning, so you figure you're covered. Here's the uncomfortable part: you might not be. It turns out that how long we sit in one long, unbroken stretch has its own quiet effect on the body, separate from whether we exercise. The good news, and there's a lot of it, is that the fixes are small, free, and they genuinely work. Let's get into the why. Most of us now sit for around 10 hours a day, once you add up the commute, the desk, the meals, and the evening screen. And a large study from 2024 following nearly 90,000 adults found something striking. Past roughly 10.5 hours of sitting a day, the risk of heart failure and heart-related death climbed sharply, and here's the kicker: it climbed even in people who were hitting their exercise targets. This is the part that surprises people the most. We tend to think of our day in two boxes: did I exercise, yes or no? But your body keeps a second tally: how much of the day you spent completely still. You can be what researchers call an active couch potato, a solid 30 or 45-minute workout followed by 10 hours of barely moving. The workout is wonderful. It just doesn't fully cancel out the 10 hours. So the question isn't only did I move today, it's also did I stay still for too long. Move today. It's also did I stay still for too long. So why would simply sitting do anything at all? Start with your muscles. The big muscles in your legs and seat are quietly one of the most powerful engines your body has for pulling sugar and fat out of your blood and burning them. When you're up and moving, that engine hums. When you sit still for a long stretch, it idles, and the activity of the enzymes that clear fat from your blood drops right off. The result is more sugar and more fat lingering in your bloodstream after meals than there needs to be. Your muscles were ready to help. They just weren't asked. There's a second reason, and it's about flow. When you sit, you bend and gently pinch the blood vessels running down through your hips and legs, and blood tends to pool rather than circulate. Over a long, unbroken stretch, the lining of those vessels gets less of the gentle push and pull it's designed for. Your circulation isn't built to it's built for the rhythm of a body that gets up, moves a little, and sits back down. Now, before this tips into alarm, let's be clear about what we're actually saying. You'll hear the phrase "sitting is the new smoking." It isn't. That comparison oversells it, and fear has never made anyone healthier. The real message is gentler and far more useful. It isn't sitting that's the villain, it's stillness held too long. And stillness is the single easiest thing in the world to interrupt. That's the whole reason this video. Fix number one is the big one, and it's almost absurdly simple. Break up your sitting. Researchers at Columbia put this to the test. People sat for 8 hours, and the standout routine was this: 5 minutes of easy walking for every 30 minutes of sitting. The effect was real and measurable. Their blood sugar spikes after meals fell by more than half. Their blood pressure dropped by around 4 to 5 points, a drop the lead researcher compared to what you'd expect from months of regular exercise. And the cadence mattered. Every 30 minutes helped in a way that waiting a full hour did not. It's walking to refill your water. It's taking a phone call on your feet, pacing a little. It's a slow lap to a colleague's desk instead of a message. Set a quiet timer if you need to at first. You're not trying to exercise, you're just refusing to stay frozen for hours at a time. One researcher put it beautifully: you are how often you walk. Fix number two is for the bigger picture, and it's the most encouraging research of all. A brand new study published in January 2026 and Fix number two is for the bigger picture, and it's the most encouraging research of all. A brand new study published in January 2026 and tracking more than 130,000 adults asked a simple question: what if people made only tiny changes? The answer: just 5 extra minutes a day of brisker movement could prevent a meaningful share of early deaths, and trimming half an hour off your daily sitting helped too. If you can build toward the broader target, about 150 minutes of moderate activity a week, with a little strength work, that's even better. But the headline is this: some is dramatically better than none, and every move counts. Let's bust the myth everybody asks about, the standing desk. If standing is the opposite of sitting, surely standing all day is the fix, not quite. A large study from 2024 found that simply standing more instead of sitting did not improve heart health over the long run, and standing still for hours can actually nudge up circulation problems, like varicose veins and clots. A standing desk isn't useless. Anything that gets you to shift, alternate, and move is a plus. But the magic was never in standing. It's in moving. Swapping one frozen posture for a different frozen posture isn't the win. And here's a myth that might genuinely set you free: sit up straight or you'll wreck your back. For years we were told there's one perfect, upright posture and that slouching causes back pain. The evidence just doesn't support that. In fact, sitting bolt upright and rigid all day can leave your muscles more tired, not less. Back discomfort tends to track how long you hold any one position, far more than which position it is. The physios have a lovely line for it: your best posture is your next posture. Get comfortable, add support if it helps, and then change it often. Short, gentle walk after meals when your blood sugar is rising anyway. Take calls on your feet. Park a little farther or get off one stop early. Refill your own water. None of these is impressive on its own, and that's exactly the point. Stacked across a day, these small interruptions are what the research is actually rewarding. A quick, gentle word on who should take this most to heart. If you live with diabetes, high blood pressure, existing heart disease, or you've had blood clots, then long, unbroken sitting. A quick, gentle word on who should take this most to heart. If you live with diabetes, high blood pressure, existing heart disease, or you've had blood clots, then long, unbroken sitting matters a little more for you, and the break-it-up habit pays off a little more too. And if your day means a long commute, or hours on a factory floor or behind a counter, it's worth fitting these small breaks to your own setting. A quick word with your doctor or even your employer can help. This isn't a reason to worry. It's a reason to make the small changes non-negotiable and to let your own doctor help you tailor them to your body. So here's the whole video in one breath. It isn't that sitting is poison, it's that staying still for hours, unbroken, quietly works against you. And breaking it up works wonderfully for you. Move every 30 minutes. Add a few easy minutes a day. Don't chase the perfect chair or the perfect posture, chase the next small movement. If you'd like all of this on a single page, the break rhythm, the desk day checklist, and the myths, comment the word honest, and we'll send you the free one-page desk reset cheat sheet. If this gave you a calmer, clearer way to think about your day at a desk, consider subscribing and sticking around. That's the whole promise here. We make health make sense. No fear, just the why. Reset cheat sheet. If this gave you a calmer, clearer way to think about your day at a desk, consider subscribing and sticking around. That's the whole promise here. We make health make sense. No fear, just the why. One last thing, as always, this is general information, not medical advice. If you have a health condition, take medication.